Well, her life and family hold a unique place in American history, but she also happens to be Anderson's mom.
I can't believe my mom is here.
I know. Please welcome the incredible Gloria Vanderbilt.
This is so weird to have you here.
Well, it's sort of weird to be here with you because I watch you on television all the time.
I know.
And I'm glued, and now here I am glued with you.
Well, you know, Anderson said something that was so interesting. I read it in the book, and I saw it in the documentary, that you've literally been famous for 92 years, since the day you were born.
Yeah, I mean, that's one of the things that was so interesting to me about my mom, is that she's been famous longer than really anyone else, I think, alive today. But what's interesting is you don't think of yourself as famous.
I don't think of myself in that way at all.
You have no idea of, like, what...
No concept of that at all.
You just don't pay attention to it.
Well, I early on stopped reading. I don't read anything about myself. I do occasionally look at photographs because, you know, one's a girl, a woman, and you kind of like to look
pretty. I like your gold slip, your gold sneakers.
They really are fantastic.
They are so comfortable.
Yeah.
They're great.
Look at them in comparison to Kelly's. They're so great.
These are a much better choice.
Well, these are much more for jumping over the moon and so forth.
So we started writing this book.
Yeah.
When I approached you about doing the book, neither of us thought it was going to be a book.
No, it just sort of started off really with us emailing each other back and forth. And then I think one of us said something that we thought was rather catchy or witty.
It was sort of like writing a message in a bottle and sending it off and then getting a response back.
Well, it's interesting, too, because you go into early aspects of your life, things that I didn't know about, that I'm sure you learned about as well. I mean, also, Anderson was talking about just finding out about, and I'm going to make you so uncomfortable, finding out about all of your past loves and all of the men that you dated that he had no idea that you had dated.
Tell people some of the guys you dated.
Well, they all became dear friends, which is a great thing to have happen, so that when you part, you remain lifelong friends often.
But some of them where you only were dating for a short period of time.
Oh, very short, yes.
Like, I mean, there was Frank Sinatra.
Well, I went to Hollywood when I was 17 and started dating Errol Flynn. That was very brief. But I was so goggle-eyed at 17. I was so movie-struck, and these were like gods to me, you know, because all my life as a child I'd grown up seeing them in the movies, and suddenly here I was, and they were looking at me and asking me out. And
it was Howard Hughes, you almost got married to.
He was the best.
He was the best.
The best boyfriend?
No, the most of the ones that meant the most to me.
Yeah.
At that age.
And this was Howard Hughes, I mean, long before the end. Like, this was like when he was like Leonardo DiCaprio in the movie Howard Hughes. Like young, handsome.
Well, better.
Better.
Yeah.
Oh, okay.
Really better.
And what was Frank Sinatra like?
Frank Sinatra's the greatest friend.
Yeah.
Great, you know, to be with. I mean, he was kind of just the most amazing person in my life, because he came along at a time when I thought I was sort of trapped in a marriage I didn't want to be in. And
he helped you move on.
And I thought the man I was married to was God, and that he would never let me go. And then Frank Sinatra came along and called Julie Stein and asked if because we didn't know each other, if he could ask me out for dinner. And I said yes, and then I just was free. That was it.
We got to take a short break. We're going to have more of my mom when we come back.
Tomorrow on Live, David Duchovny, and also from The Jungle Book, Jon Favreau.
What do you hope people, the book we wrote, The Rainbow Comes and Goes, which just came out today, what do you hope people get out of it?
Well, I hope that they will be able to speak in a totally free way with people they love, either a parent, a child, a friend, a lover, a sister, a brother, And to really be able to have a conversation and tell how you feel without feeling resentment or getting involved in sort of tangents of anger, and I think it's very hard to do that. But it's a great gift.
You never really had that with your mom. I mean, you were raised by your mom, who was taken away from you by the courts. I mean, it's such an incredible story, and we're going to have more of this after the show on a special web episode. But you really didn't have that ability to have that kind of conversation with your mom.
No, I never. Well, she was 17 when she got married, and she was 18 when I was born. And of course, all she wanted to do really was have a good time, which, you know, at 18 one really does want to do. And then we were separated, and so I never ever was able to have that kind of conversation with her ever.
So how did you learn about parenting? I mean, since you were raised by your nurse.
By my nurse and my grandmother Morgan. And my grandmother Morgan was really like, I called her Nanny Napoleon, because she was very strong-willed, and she was really like a father figure to me.
She was also obsessed with Napoleon Bonaparte.
Obsessed with him.
Yeah.
And patterned her, very much patterned her life.
She wanted to be Napoleon.
She wanted to be Napoleon, yes.
Wow.
And if she wanted something, she got it. She really did. And she was kind of like the father, so to speak, in my world. And then the nanny, the nurse, was my adored mother.
Well, all of this is in the book, and it's a book really about changing the conversation you have with a parent or a loved one, and doing it in a way that kind of frees you from a lot of the past resentment and stuff.
It's an incredible